Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It is Friday. Happy Friday. It's also Friday the 13th. So for those of you who are superstitious, I hope nothing unlucky happens today. Welcome to a Nintendo Weekly, everybody. Catnip says cute dress. Thank you. It's a Nintendo dress. I've been rocking the Nintendo fits. Anytime I talk about Nintendo, since the Switch 2 came out. So here you can see, little closer up, Nintendo fit today for Nintendo Weekly. Welcome everybody. I'm live right now on both Twitch and Amazon Live. Feel free to watch in both places or one or the other. They all have their benefits. And I know some people that like to hop back and forth. Like if a Twitch ad plays, you can watch on Amazon Live ad-free and see all the products or whatever that I'm talking about. And if you're watching on Amazon Live, you get free perks over on Twitch if you're an Amazon Prime member. Just for being a Prime member. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Catnip Ninja makes a joke and says, I tried clicking the links on your dress, but nothing happened. Because Link, the character, is on my dress. But I love it. Suniquan says that's an awesome dress, Trisha. Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream today. Now, the first thing that I had to talk about for Nintendo Weekly, because Nintendo Weekly is all fun finds. We'll talk about the news. And I want to know your Nintendo fun finds and ideas in chats as well. This is a nice conversation that we basically have every Friday about all things Nintendo. My favorite Nintendo Game Boy heat-changing mug is, 7% off? It's basically $1 off on Amazon right now. And I know you can't see. So what the heat-changing part is that the Game Boy screen comes on, and it actually shows a different screen on either side. One's the start menu, and I want to say one might be a game over. I forget. It's been a while. I use it all the time, but I only ever see the start screen side because... But I love this mug. It's only $13.99 right now. So if you need a gift, maybe like a last minute gift for Father's Day. I don't know if you order it right now, it might get here in time. But Father's Day, graduation gift, birthday gift for someone, or just a treat for yourself. This is less than $15 right now. And it's heat changing, and I put it in the dishwasher all the time. And I've had it for like 3.5 years, and the heat changing part still works. So highly recommend in all the different ways if anyone is looking for a fun gift. Catnip says it's a great mug and the coffee isn't bad either. I mean, I do enjoy my coffee. Alan says, I have Amazon open on my PC and Twitch on my phone and the audio is actually synced perfectly this time. That's amazing. I love that. I love that. And Chicago, your brother made a wooden coaster with the Master Sword and Hylian Shield for your birthday. I love that kind of one-of-a-kind collectible. Exactly Game says, I'm not sure, I haven't seen the heat change ever on the stream. I think it happened once, but it's because I don't do Nintendo Weekly till 9:30, and I have a kid, so I normally wake up at 6:30. So my coffee normally is like hot at 6:45 a.m., so it's not generally still hot at 9:30. If I got a second cup, it would be. Hey, Snowshoe Kitty and STS, welcome to the stream today. Happy to have you here. But yeah, for Nintendo Weekly, we talk about all things Nintendo Switch. I have my hands on a Switch 2, which is actually docked right now. But if anyone wants to see it, I can certainly answer questions on that. But also, the regular Switch is not on its last legs. I know a lot of the community conversation has been around how people are like, yeah, I'm going to stick with my OLED, my Switch OLED, as Nintendo likes to say it. I'm going to wipe off my fingerprints. But the new Switch 2 does not have an OLED screen. So if you're looking specifically for an OLED screen, the only way to get that right now is the Switch OLED. I did find it slightly on deal. You can get the all-white version. So I have the all-red version, but you can get the all-white version of the Nintendo Switch OLED right now for $339 instead of $350. Heyo! So if you're looking for a new Switch console and don't want to pay $450 or $500, depending which Switch 2 console you were pricing out, save some monies and get the Switch OLED, which honestly has better battery life, runs a little cooler, it's a little tinier, so it's easier to bring places, and it has the OLED screen. So some may argue that is the best deal right now to get. Exactly says, will Nintendo still manufacture the Switch 1 or OLED? I have not heard that they're not, and at least on Amazon, it's way easier to get a Nintendo Switch OLED, or as they say, Nintendo Switch OLED, or first-gen Switch. You can't even get a Switch 2 on Amazon, for those of you who are watching on Amazon. But you still can definitely get the Switch OLED. Also, when we were streaming before, someone had asked me about, I think this was yesterday on stream, someone had asked me about the external docks that you can get for Switch. These don't work on Switch 2, which I'm actually really bummed about because I'm going out of town soon and it would have been really nice to bring an external dock. So what the external docks look like, I have one kind of here. This is not exactly one, but this is just to give you an idea of what they look like. So you've got your USB-C that plugs right into the USB-C of your Switch. And then you've got an HDMI out that is going to give you the HDMI out capabilities of your dock. Now, what these normally have is not just the HDMI out. That's why I say this isn't exactly the same. Picture this part a little bit bigger with a USB-C in for power and the HDMI out, and then you essentially have your external dock. But if you're traveling, this is so much easier to travel with than the big clunky dock, right? So a lot of people for the first gen Switch have these external docks so that you can travel and, you know, output to a television easily in your hotel room or whatever. But these don't work with the Switch 2, which is the talk of a lot of articles that are out right now. But if you want to get one for your Switch OLED or your original Switch, you can totally do that. And right now I found one 14% off on Amazon that you can get for just $8.49. So I'm all about the deals. Exactly Game says, I feel like they will still sell the OLEDs if there's demand. Absolutely. Why wouldn't they? Aaron, thank you so much for following the stream today. Flash Seldom says there are a lot of Switch 1 games on sale right now. There definitely are. Jump on them. I actually didn't list them all in the product carousel for Amazon Live this time because there's so many. It just would be like me talking about which games are on sale forever. Paolo says, I also have a portable dock, but it's not that small. Paolo, do you have one that just kind of looks like a bar and you just set it on the bar? I've seen some like that. I've also seen some like that for the handhelds like the Asus ROG Ally and the Steam Deck. You said pretty much? Yeah, pretty much. I get it. Also, in terms of things you might be interested in right now, we were having this conversation, I was having this conversation offline with some friends about some good last minute Father's Day gifts that are Nintendo related. And so I was thinking about it while we were having this conversation. Some of the games that I recommended for a good last minute Father's Day gift, or just games that you can play with your family, like good family friendly games that are engaging for all ages and fun for all ages. So I gotta shout out Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, the best-selling Switch game of all time. It's fantastic. If you're looking to scratch that Mario Kart itch, you can play up to 4 players locally, so you can get the whole family involved. This is for the first generation Switch. There is a different Mario Kart for Switch 2, but this will still work on Switch 2. So you can get this and play it no matter what kind of Switch you have. And again, it's really, really fun for everyone. It's also on sale. It's almost $10 off on sale right now on Amazon for anyone who wants to pick it up. Dun, dun, dun. Your favorite are, Stream Elements timed someone out. I don't know why that happened, Tony. I'm sorry, Tony, that Stream Elements got all mod happy on you. I didn't even know it could do that. Surprise for all of us. It only was for 1 second, so hopefully you're all right. TJ says, my favorite are the Jackbox games for parties. Jackbox Party Pack is also wonderful. They're great, great games to play with the entire family if that's something you're thinking about. Another great game that I just started playing recently with my husbando is Split Fiction. Now, this is a co-op game for just 2 players, but If you are, it's rated T for teens. So this would be if you are at least a teenager and want to play a game with one other family member. It's a great co-op experience. I love the way that is this developer who also made It Takes Two and A Way Out, Hazelight. I love the way that they do co-op games. And it really is like an emotional journey you're going to go on together, and like a nice way to make memories with another member of your family if you want to play this with another member of your family. Speaking of making memories, I just saw that Tarlin over in Twitch chat gifted 20 community subs today. Thank you. That's a huge sub bomb. Anyone that just became a Twitch subscriber, thanks to Tarlin's generosity, welcome to the Dragon Riders. And folks, if you're a Prime member and you're watching over on Amazon, you do get a free Twitch sub just for being an Amazon Prime member. The two platforms go really, really well together. Mist Explorer says, I hear they're making a split fiction movie. I have also heard that. And yes, Mr. Big says, have you tried the Switch 2 versions of Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom? We were actually playing the Switch 2 version of Tears of the Kingdom last week on Nintendo Weekly, and I think we might do a little bit more of that again. Freddie, did I misspeak? Sometimes words get hard this early in the morning, which is why I was showing off my favorite coffee mug earlier. If you want a heat-changing Game Boy mug, you can scroll back in the Amazon carousel. Clearly, I need some more coffee if I didn't misspeak a little earlier. But other games that are really fun to play with family members, now that summer vacation's almost here, kiddos are out of school, Father's Day is right around the corner. Overcooked is one of my favorite local co-op experiences, and even online co-op. But it's one of my favorite co-op games of all times. It's pure chaos. They say that Overcooked will either make or break your friendships and relationships. I think it's so funny. I have not laughed so hard as I laugh when I'm playing this game. Basically, you're working with your teammates to run an uber chaotic kitchen in a restaurant. But not just any restaurant. It's always like a restaurant that happens to be taking place on hot air balloons or something like that. It's always absolutely wacky, but so much fun. If you ever hear stories about, like, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. This is a game about handling the heat and handling the heat with other people. Stonian says that Game Boy mug is the Paladone mug, right? Yes, it is. And it's only $13.99 right now on Amazon. I love it. I love it so much. Fate Photo says, any word on the 1 terabyte express cards? Yes, Fate Photo. I do have words on those. Let me shout out, you know what? We'll just go right to it since you asked about it. Dun, 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 dun. You're probably asking about the 1 terabyte micro SD express cards, is my guess, because the 1 terabyte micro SD express cards are the kind that are compatible with the Switch 2. Here we go. So, SanDisk has micro SD express cards available in 256 gigabytes that you can purchase right now. Those are available and in stock right now for $67.99. But the only company that's shipping the 1 terabyte cards now that I'm aware of, I know GameStop sells a rebranded 1 terabyte card, but I'm not sure who makes it, which makes me skeptical. The only brand shipping 1 terabyte micro SD express cards, as far as I know right now, is Lexar. You will find these if you click see details right now on the Amazon listing and go to Lexar's page. If you go to their Play Pro cards, these are the micro SD express that work with the Switch 2. Here's Trisha's insider pro tip. You guys are getting it first. I was about to leak this story on Instagram over the next couple days. But for those of you, since you come to Amazon and Nintendo Weekly to get the shopping insights, Lexar is planning a rolling restock of these in July. So wish list the page now and pay attention in July because these are selling fast because Lexar is the only one shipping the 1 terabyte micro SD express cards. So that is your Trisha pro tip. You are welcome. Hot goss, STS. You got it. Now, if you're looking for a regular micro SD card, Lexar makes the 1 terabyte Lexar Play micro SD cards. These only work with the first generation Nintendo Switch and the Nintendo Switch OLED. These will not work with the Switch 2. So make sure you get the right card for what you need. First Switch is the Lexar Play. Second Switch is the Lexar Play Pro. Got it? Don't get confused. Don't get confused and order the wrong thing. Aaron says, was Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom noticeably better on the 2 versus the OLED? Yes. And I'm actually going to show some of the gameplay. But yeah, noticeably better for sure. It looks stunning and it's so smooth. And if you have Nintendo Switch Online, the upgrade is free. I was expecting to pay $9.99 to upgrade to the Nintendo Switch 2 version. But if you have Nintendo Switch Online and Expansion Pass, that upgrade is free. Speaking of Nintendo Switch Online, it's $19.99 for a full year. I highly recommend getting this before, if you're planning on transferring from a Switch to a Switch 2, highly recommend getting Nintendo Switch Online before you make the transfer. That way you have the option of online cloud saves just in case there's a hiccup in your transfer process. You will not lose your entire save. Do that. It's very important. Mr. Yasman, thank you so much. David says you need to test the incompatible cards on the Switch 2 to see if that's really the case. Do you mean the game cards or the micro SD versus micro SD Express? I can tell you they're completely different formats, so that's not just like a marketing ploy. Micro SD versus micro SD Express are two completely different types of micro SD technology. In fact, you know I do a lot of work with Kingston. Kingston's not even making micro SD Express cards right now because the only handheld that is compatible with them is the Switch 2. But yeah, they're completely different formats. If there's anything I ever talk about on Nintendo Weekly that is not available at the time on Amazon, you can, but like you want to get it as a gift for someone and hand them something physical, I always like to include the Nintendo eShop gift cards in the carousel. You can get them in lots of different amounts and then be like, here you go, I got you such and such game that's worth $50 with this $50 eShop gift card. Or if you're a big indie person like I am, I love indie games and playing them on my Switch, then gift cards are absolutely wildly appropriate. Stonian says, did you ever work retail? The way you talk is like a salesperson. Really? No, I never worked retail. Nope. I mean, I waited tables a lot, so I've done like customer service-y stuff. Actually, you know what? No, I think I worked retail for 2 weeks as like my winter break job over college winter break once, and it was at a clothes store. That's the only time. That's the only time. Excel spreadsheet, I love your name, says, oh, I see. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I do like your name. It makes me chuckle. You love the summer dress. Thank you. It's a Legend of Zelda themed summer dress that I have on today for Nintendo Weekly. Werlin says, Trisha's just telling us about things she's genuinely interested in. That's true. I wouldn't stream about it if I didn't find it fun and interesting. Chicago says, I wonder if the ROG Xbox Ally will use microSD Express cards. We have no idea at this point, but I hope that they do because it's much, much faster speeds than traditional microSD. It would be great if they did. Now, in the behind closed doors presentations I got of the ROG Xbox Ally, they did not say anything about that. So we'll see. They also said, based on the behind closed doors presentation that I got as Games and Tech Media, they also said that a lot could change between now and release. So what we were seeing was just a very early look to give us an idea of what they're hopeful for. So we'll see what happens. If you did pick up your Switch 2 and you're looking for fun accessories for it, I did find for just $16 the wheels that you put your Joy-Con 2s into. So here, the Joy-Con 2 and the Joy-Cons are different sizes. So if you have steering wheels for the OG Mario Kart, note that they will not work. These are different sizes. So the wheels that match the original Joy-Con will not work with the Joy-Con 2. Different sizes. And the buttons are slightly differently placed too. But if you want wheels specifically for the Joy-Con 2, you can get them for $15.99 right now on Amazon. I found them there. And that's pretty good. Pretty good deal. Stonian says, are you able to get these sneak peeks as an independent content creator? Or how are you able to? That's a great question. Every company has their own PR invite lists. But basically, I would say if you want to do that, keep putting out consistent content as a content creator, build a community, build an audience, and then fingers crossed that the PR companies find you. There's no real secret sauce other than, or it's the same way if you make your own website or blog. Make your own website or blog, keep putting out consistent articles, build up enough of a viewership that PR companies add you to their list. That's basically how it works. But there's no like one size fits all approach. All right, let me set these back here. Please don't fall. No, Switch, no, my kickstand. The kickstand is so much better on the Nintendo Switch OLED and the Nintendo Switch 2 than it is on the original Switch. Gotta say, I'm glad that they did that. Fate Photo, you're getting your Switch 2 tomorrow. Congratulations, but you need a 1 terabyte card. Like I said, bookmark, add to wish list, do whatever you gotta do on that Lexar Play Pro site, and pay attention in July. We're very close, only a couple weeks away. But that is the Trisha Pro tip as to how you can get your hands on a 1 terabyte micro SD Express. The kickstand is really great on the Switch too. It is. It really is. The OG Switch kickstand is embarrassing, says Tom. I rarely use it, to be frank. I just have it here for Nintendo Weekly. Mr. Yasman says, I'm going to wait for a month or two to get the Switch 2 because I'm waiting for more games to come out. Waiting for those 1 terabyte micro SD Express cards to be back in stock. I get it. Estonian, are you on my Discord? Feel free to ask me questions about that on the Discord. I'm happy to help in whatever way I can. But again, there's no one size fits all approach to that. And it's the same for any kind of traditional media outlets looking to get out there. Yeah, join the Discord. For anyone watching on Amazon that wants to join the Discord, I give notifications there when I'm live on Amazon and other places, but it's discord.gg/dragonriders. And that's a great way to get notifications. You can also get live notifications by following the Amazon channel and toggling the live notifications on. So it's up to you, whatever you like best. Chicago says Nintendo should have designed that dock with an NVMe expansion slot. I saw a lot of people really hopeful that would be the case. But alas, we did not get it. And if they did do that, it would probably raise the price. And then everybody who's really upset about the price point would be even more upset. There's always a give and a take, right? There's always a give and a take. All right, where was I? More stuff to showcase today. For those of you, Fate Photo, and those of you who are just getting hands on your Switch 2s right now, if you want a screen protector, I highly recommend getting one that's tempered glass. That way you're not compromising the feel of the screen if you're using the touch screen for anything. You can get tempered glass, very well reviewed Switch 2 covers, screen protectors, with a foolproof applier, which I'm horrible at applying screen protectors, but this has a little foolproof application device. 10% off right now for $8.99, and I believe you get 4 of them. So really, really great deal right now if you want to check that out. I have that linked. That is the top rated screen protector for the Switch 2 on Amazon. And again, currently it's 10% off right now. You can get 4 of them for $8.99. Now, a really interesting thing is happening with Switch 2 games being sold, or the physical edition of Switch 2 games. And I want to talk about that for a second. So Switch 2 games have been getting lots of conversation going because some of them are actually physically installed on the cartridge, and some of them are code on cartridge. Why would you need 4 of them? In case you apply one incorrectly or one gets scratched and you want to swap it out with a new one. I always like having more. Yeah, TJ1673 says also highly recommend the tempered glass. Yes, there is a tech help section on the Discord you can reach out to. Rudy, thank you so much for following today. But yeah, so this conversation, whether the cards themselves hold just a code or the entire game, has really gotten some people upset, right? Because I get it. You think you're buying the physical edition and what you're buying is essentially a code on the card. Now, I understand Nintendo has come out and said, like, we're only doing, I believe, 65 gigabyte cards. Some indie games don't need a full 65 gigabytes. So those indie game developers are like, why would I pay for a full 65 gigabyte card, which is very expensive, per release when I may only need 5 or 10 or 15, right? Like, that makes no sense for me. And so I can understand from like a business perspective why a game would choose to go code on card instead of like the full thing. But it is producing some very interesting conversations, some very heated conversation. And so I bring this up to say, because we're streaming on Amazon, when you see some of the Switch 2 games getting review bombed, pay attention to the reviews, because a lot of the reviews are because they're upset about code on card. STS says, as a fan of physical media, I don't love this release strategy. I mean, I get it. I understand the argument from all sides. I totally understand it. Joseph says, so is the future of all gaming handheld? Did Nintendo call it? I don't think the future of all gaming is handheld, but I think getting a device that can be interchangeable between the two is awesome. I think giving people more options is better. So I like the idea of either having a handheld that can do both, or having your home set up and having your handheld set up separately, but that they can work together. TJ says, code on card is so weird. Why not just either release a scratch off code or an actual physical copy? I think they might move to that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, I say all of that to say, if you see like Cyberpunk 2077 Switch 2 version with a bunch of 1 out of 5 star reviews, read the actual reviews, because my guess is they're probably not about the game. They're probably about the code on card conversation. Because Cyberpunk 2077 on Nintendo Switch is awesome, and it is the only way that you can play it with a Nintendo Switch 2 specific motion controls. So that is available right now. Here's just some Switch 2 games that are very popular that you might want to pick up. Cyberpunk 2077. Also, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is available for the Switch 2 right now. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S, which we were playing yesterday on stream. You can get that right now. So the 2S version is the Switch 2 version. I don't know why it's 2S instead of S2. Maybe because Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 was already released for the OG Switch. I don't know. Sonic X Shadow Generations for the Switch 2 is available. Sid Meier's Civilization 7 for the Switch 2 is available. Hitman World of Assassination for the Switch 2 is available. So there's lots of Switch 2 games out there. Like when people are saying, I want to hold off till there's more games, there's actually a ton of Switch 2 games available you can buy right now. They're just not, they're like updated versions of games you might already have for another system. Which I think when people say, like, I'm holding off until there's more games available, people are thinking, like, I'm holding off until there's more games I don't already have available or can't already get elsewhere. Hey, Sergeant Nobody. Is there a plan for a third Mario Maker? Not that I have any inside knowledge to. I wish I did, but not that I have any inside knowledge to. Other games you can get for the Switch 2 right now. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake. Although I believe that might still be a pre-order. Star Wars Outlaws Gold Edition. That is also a pre-order that you can get right now for the Switch 2. But Star Wars Outlaws is also a great game. And that's totally valid. Sid X says, I don't know about supporting these Nintendo policies, so my money's going elsewhere. Totally valid, and I fully support everybody's ability to vote with their wallets and put your money where you like the policies a little bit better, if that's what you choose to do. But yeah, I totally understand, and that is also a valid argument. It's been really interesting seeing the conversations surrounding all of this online lately, I will say. Okay. I know I've been talking so much about all of this, so kind of the news and the showing stuff off is blended together at this point. Switch 2 has set the record now for the fastest selling Nintendo system ever. It's something like in the first 4 days, they sold as many units as the Wii U sold in its lifetime. The poor Wii U. It was an important stepping stone to get to the Switch, for sure. But congrats to the Switch 2 on that. Splatoon Raiders was announced for those of you that are Splatoon fans. It's the first ever Splatoon spin-off game, which is exciting. It will be exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2. And what they've said about it so far is that it's basically a game where you're going to go on an adventure alongside the Splat-tacular Deep Cut Trio. So we're going on an adventure in the mysterious Spearhalite Islands. I'm sure I mispronounced that. Splatoon fans, please correct me if you want. There is a free update for Splatoon 3 announced as well for the Switch and Switch 2. Let's hear it for free updates. I'm a big fan of that anytime that can happen. That update is now available, and it's supposed to update features for the Splatlands collection with 30 new different weapon kits. That's cool. And it's also got a returning stage from the original Splatoon game on the Wii U, speaking of the Wii U, called Urchin Underpass, and that will be added to the stage rotation if you do the free update. So that's available too. Let me see. Other fun news that I can talk about that just happened, and I'm actually just going to take our Amazon carousel back to Nintendo Switch Online for a moment. Other new releases and things that are coming soon to the Nintendo Switch, for those of you holding out. Releasing this upcoming September is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, which was just announced at Summer Game Fest, I did not get a chance to see anything more than we all got to see, but the announcement was this past weekend. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Amazon exclusive edition, was recently announced at State of Play. Now, while there's no Amazon page for it yet, please keep your peepers open to see if you can find it. The Amazon exclusive edition will include a double-sided poster and a pre-order bonus with some new equipment that you can get, as well as some new consumables that will come with that. So that's exciting. And then, yes, as previously mentioned, Star Wars Outlaws and Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D Remake are going to be available too. Okay, now StrewFab is giving us some more information on the Nintendo Switch 2 physical game cards. Thank you for this. StrewFab filling us in says, Nintendo Switch 2 physical game cards come in different sizes depending on the game. 8GB used for smaller indie titles and simpler games, 16GB standard for mid-sized games, 32 common for larger first party, and 64 used for big AAA with high resolution assets. 128 gigabytes are rare, but some massive games require this size. Some games still require additional downloads, even if they come on a physical card. This is especially true for titles with large updates or expansions. Now, that is contrary to what I heard, which is that Switch 2 was offering the 64 only, at least in the beginning. So I'm glad to hear that. That's good information, if true. That's great to have. All right. Checking in with chat, Chicago says, poor Wii U. I love that underappreciated console. I know. Chicago says, wait, I thought the Switch 2 sold 3.5 million in 4 days. And the Wii U sold about 14 million. Let's see what I have here. I read the thing this morning. Let me double check. Switch 2 sales versus Wii U. Switch 2 sells 3.5 million units in just 4 days, fastest selling ever. And this one says yes, for the Wii U's lifetime sales, a quarter of the way to the Wii U's lifetime sales. But yeah, it was something like more than the Wii U sold in the first year or something like that. Was the article that I read this morning. So thank you for fact checking that. I appreciate it. Folks, this wraps up our show and tell and news portion of Nintendo Weekly. Now, I did say that I wanted to show off because folks in chat were asking about Tears of the Kingdom and if it really does run that much better on the Switch 2 than the original Switch or the Switch OLED. And I do want to showcase that a little bit today. Eternal Zebra Girl, hi to you in chat. Is there an announced Switch 2 game you're particularly looking forward to? Donkey Kong Bonanza, I got a chance to play a little bit of, and that was super fun. So I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that. But, I mean, Mario Kart World is where my hype was. And I'm also very, very hopeful that we'll have a new Mario game. That's what I was hoping that they'd announce at Summer Game Fest. When Switch 2 said they were going to be part of the Summer Game Fest announcements, I was like, oh, new Mario title incoming, please, 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 please. We did not get that, sadly. Instead, we got a Cyberpunk 2077 advertisement, which I was like, that's not new. We knew that already, but maybe some people didn't know that already. But they are supposed to have a Switch 2 Direct towards the end of June, sometimes in the latter half of June. So maybe we'll get that information there. But yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out next month. Did I get early access to GTA 6? I did not. No. Some titles I do get early access to, but GTA 6 is definitely not one that I have early access to yet. No, there's some cool titles coming up, though, that I do have early access to, but not that I can talk about yet. I will talk about them as soon as I can. D-Man says, I'm honestly pretty impressed that Nintendo had so much supply for this launch. Basically, everyone I know that wanted one got the one. Yes, that is the feedback I've been hearing as well. I wish I knew that ahead of time, so I didn't do the whole wait in line for 12 plus hours midnight release thing when I could have just sauntered in and gotten one the next day. But, you know, whatever. You live and you learn. At least I was there for the hype of it all. All right, let's go ahead and check out Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the Switch 2 upgraded version, so you can check and see what the quality feels like to you. Okay. Comsci Dude said, I played Blasphemous on Switch 2, on Switch 1 and 2, and there's a stark difference on the loading and frame rate. Yeah, so I mean, even if there's not an official Switch 2 update for the game, your regular games will run better on Switch 2. Big difference. And so when the game does have a Switch 2 upgrade, whether it's a paid upgrade or a free upgrade or whatever, yes, you will definitely notice a difference. And so that's why I want to show this off today. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let me go ahead and turn on my Switch 2. I have it in the little holder that it comes with. We're getting it ready. Give my system just a second to adjust here. Got it. Got it. Okie dokie. So we were playing Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S yesterday. But let's go to Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 Edition. Ooh, a new update is available for the software? Oh, well, we gotta do it with the new update. We got to. Is loading games much faster now? I think it is, yes. I mean, it's microSD Express versus microSD. And that's like the big thing that you will get excited about, right? That's why I'm hoping that the new Xbox handheld has microSD Express. That would be really awesome. Updating that software. Like, look how fast this is going. I'm doing it live and not even worrying about it. Oh, man. Hold up, folks. We have someone in Amazon chat that is just unruly. Of course you did it as soon as I switched to the game, so I didn't have all my moderation stuff up. Just unruly. Someone needs like another cup of coffee or something. Or just, you know, to learn some basic human decency and respect. All right, going back into Tears of the Kingdom. Nikki says, Xbox handheld, is that real? It is. I have 2 videos out on it right now on my Instagram if you want to check it out. At Summer Game Fest this past weekend, I was invited to a special behind closed doors media presentation where I got to play Metal Gear Solid on it for a whole 5 minutes, and I got to hold it. And so I gave my first impressions in 2 different videos, like I said, that are on my Instagram and YouTube right now. Stonian says, you seem to be pretty chill given that someone's unruly. I mean, I've been making content on the internet a long time. Hardly anything phases me anymore. It just honestly disappoints me in humanity when I see it. Like, it doesn't rattle me. I just feel like it's sad that that happens. Starcat says she's disappointed, not surprised. Yes. Yes, I have to get all mom on them and be like, I'm just disappointed. Orion, that's a great question. Orion says, is it really an Xbox handheld, though? Or is it just an ally with some Xbox enhancements? I can't answer that question quickly for you. That would require a longer answer. But it definitely has its Xbox imprint on it. But do you mean, like, is it running Windows or is it just the console software? It is kind of a hybrid, but mostly Windows. Again, not a very easy answer for you. But it launches into a special launcher that's meant to be more like the Xbox experience. It doesn't load into full Windows right away. That's kind of the TLDR version. But at its base, it is actually a full Windows running unit. So you can play games from other launchers like Battle.net or Ubisoft or whatever. But yeah, again, that's a much longer, more complex answer. Hey, of course I'd see you all the way out here. You're an adventurous traveler just like me. Can I tempt you to buy? I don't think I want to buy anything that Beetle has. I think I'm mostly good on stuff. Yeah, I got plenty of arrows. Thanks for your business. I also don't think I want to sell anything to Beetle right now. What's the Lucky Clover Gazette covering this edition? What's the news? Update on Great Fairy flees into Flowerbud story. The Great Fairy emerged to appreciate the skill of the stable trotters, much to the relief of the nearby stable. Phew! Sounds like the situation has been resolved now, and the Great Fairy showed herself too. Hopefully the Great Fairy near here will follow suit and emerge. I always read every word of these newspapers. Other stories? Fashion fixation in Hatno Village. Interesting. Word has reached this paper that the celebrated fashion designer Cece has returned to her home in Hatno Village. Hatno Village is on the eastern edge of Necluda. It's a real hike to get there, but it is known as a sort of holy land of fashion. I should really visit someday. All right, well, that's where we're going anyway. Yiga clan have been spotted near here. We'll take care of them. No worries. No worries. Oh, what are the kids talking about? It must be real. Down south. Wait, Darton, that's not it. More broad. So some kind of monster down south I could go check out is basically what they're saying. But yeah, take a look at this. Look how nice this looks. Yeah, full access to Xbox Game Pass, for sure. On the handheld. They're actually talking about maybe Game Pass access at some point coming to the Nintendo Switch, too. No word on that yet. That's just rumors. Hello! I know you, traveler. We had a delightful development. Look! I mean, listen, it's Eustace. He and his horn are back in our troop. It's heartbreaking to think of the poor fellow getting stuck in a hole on the way to Rito Village. Note to self, Eustace doesn't get to drive the cart anymore. But I'm glad he's out of his funk and fit as a fiddle. Eustace's horn will blow the stable trotters back on course. I'm brimming over with happiness to the point that I can't keep a lid on it. Here, let me change I just realized our Twitch category is still on just chatting. And I want to change us to Tears of the Kingdom 2. Or, excuse me, Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition. There we go. All right, what does he need our help with, this guy? It's good to see a friendly face, one who no doubt shares my concern for the Great Fairy. Everybody's really worried about the Great Fairy. Oh, she has an oh, okay, we gotta go. There is a Great Fairy right there. I found another Great Fairy already, but... Okay, let's do it. Great traveler who heard a drum somewhere. I did hear about the drum, but I couldn't hear the drum. That's a mystery for another time. Let's go get this fairy. And maybe trim some grass and get some restless crickets along the way. See, this is why Beetle was like trying to sell me stuff, and I was like, no, man, I'll go out and find it. But yeah, look how gorgeous this looks. Do we need the band to wake the fairy? Oh, is that what he's saying? I have to take them over there? Let's see. Okay, there's some bad guys over there. I should be able to swim this, but maybe they want me to, like, build a boat and bring the band over. Mr. Wong, that's very nice of you. Have I played any of the GameCube classics? Not on stream yet. Anyone calling upon me from out there in all that ugliness, you must be a monster of some kind. If I'd ever give my blessing of clothing enhancement to one of you, I moved near the stable so I could give my blessings to travelers. I suppose that if I heard something truly rousing, like the sound of a drum, I might feel inspired to come out, but only maybe. Okay. Oh, well, here's a way across. I didn't need to swim it, I guess. So we gotta find... Okay, let's go to our adventure log. I know I'm still trying to make my way to Hatno, but I'm getting so distracted along the way. This would be a side quest. There's so many side quests, y'all. The goddess statue of wisdom. So many things to find in this game. It's a little overwhelming. So this looks like a great way to build a boat. Yeah, this is everything we need to build a boat. But they didn't have a drummer over with that band, did they? I see you. Okay, do I not have my bow equipped? Oh, I have a bow equipped. Yeah, oh, get out of here with that nonsense. I didn't think these guys would be right here. Alright, well, got rid of them pretty quickly. I do not like that. Oh, missed him. I could throw like a bomb flower up at him, maybe. I'm aiming too low. Nope, too high. Nice. Oh, but that barely did anything to him. Alright. I'm running around to the other side. I'm coming up on this way. I wonder if he can get me while I'm on the ladder. Let's see. He's like, where'd he go? Hold on, I need some tomatoes, and they're just hanging out here. Whoa, someone threw rocks at me? Oh, it's an octo-rock, isn't it? Now what? Rude! Oh, yeah. Oh, this is going to be great. Oh, just slightly. All right, let's pick it up with Ultra Hand instead. So I can really... Okay, I hope this is right. Yeah! Oh, that was awesome. That was hilarious. Took him out. Give me all your goodies. I'm not going to take your bow, even though it's probably nicer than the bows I have. Oh, there's a shrine up there, too. Okay, there you are. You stinker. Come on. No! I always have to get hit the first few times just to... Got him, finally. Alright, now we don't have to worry about that fool. Because I want to go up here and get this treasure. You know what's funny? Wait, where'd the treasure go? Wasn't there treasure? I blew up the treasure! No! Oh, no. Do we think it, like, flung anywhere? Maybe that's what this mushroom was from. Big Twin Bridge. Danger. Severe damage has made crossing hazardous, especially for horses. That's so sad that I accidentally blew up the treasure. Okay, so it's hard to cross this with horses. But that would be a way, maybe, to get something across if we had to. Now, I do see another, like, little tent area over here. And I don't know if that's, like, friend or foe. Oh, it's a caravan. Should I get them? Oh, no. Oh, no thank you. No thank you, Bokoblin. Okay. Just get some more monster parts, because why not? It is 1:25 in the morning in game time. What is that? A sneaky river snail. Nice. That's the first one of those I've gotten. We also have some frogs over here. Hot-footed frogs. Okay. Well, that person's coming my way. Do we think they're Yiga clan? Okay, I'm supposed to be finding the drummer. I'm so distracted. Blood Moon soon? I don't know. Maybe STS. Maybe I will bring my Switch 2 on this next trip. The battery life on the OLED is so much better too. So far, my testing, I get between 2 and 3 hours on a charge on the Switch 2. Looking for Dueling Peak stable? Some ruins fell from the sky and landed right on top of that bridge. The bridge has been destroyed. Disaster measures have been put into effect near there, but it's not completely safe, so be careful. Okay, well, we just found that, but yeah, you're right. Chicago said I didn't think you could damage treasure. Yeah, I wasn't sure about it either, but there was a treasure box there and then there wasn't, so. So what do they need us to do to rebuild this bridge? I don't want that stick right now. More of the tomatoes. Yeah, the band we encountered at the stable did not have a drummer. And the fairy said she needs drums. So do I need to, like, fix the bridge so it is stable for horses? Like, what? We got a glider up there. And there's definitely some Zonite tech just, like, hanging around. I'm gonna get these fish real quick, though. Okay, get up there. And there's a frog up here. I did all this climbing for a sticky frog. But yeah, I mean, like, I can build something to get people across, but I don't know. I don't know if that's the best solution. All right, let's go back to the stable. It's now morning. Arcade Bear, thank you so much for the follow. And yes, they have no drums. So where is their drummer? Let me talk to him again. Eustace is their drummer, I think. He shows us where the Great Fairy is. She used to listen to Beats' drum. Beats simply isn't here. Beats is a young drummer who plays for the Stable Trotters. One day he took his leave. We haven't seen him since. There was that traveler who heard a drum somewhere. Where was that again? Oh, we got to go back to Kakariko Village to find that guy. I don't want to go all the way back there. Let's do... I do need to cook some stuff real quick. See, like, what do I have in terms of food? I don't have a lot that's just healing, so maybe I should... I wonder if I have any hearty truffles to cook. Hylian pine cones. I probably also have some meat I could just cook if need be. Yeah. Hold. Oh, we're here. No, don't just cook that. Decrease. There we go. Select for recipe. Let's do spicy salt grilled prime meat. Cook. We could just fast travel over there. You're absolutely right. We could. And fast travel back here, right? Well, I need to get that shrine before we can fast travel back here. Because you can't just fast travel back to the stable. Alright, where that shrine was at the top of the dude that I fought. Over there. Up there. There it is. You think there's something behind that waterfall? Certainly looks like there is. Or is that like a person I can talk to? I don't know. What is it? This is curious. A plug? What do we think the plug does? Oh, wait, I remember. We can connect these, can't we? Aren't they like magnets? What should I connect it to? Do you see another plug to connect it to? Maybe there's one under the water if we swim here. I don't see any. You think there might be something behind the waterfall. I think I would need to be a stronger swimmer to get behind that waterfall. Unless maybe I can climb on the rocks this way. But if I run out of stamina... No, I don't think there's anything back there. Famous last words. I could also try once I get to the top, like falling down the waterfall to see if there's anything there. Okay. Rockets always work if I have a rocket. I do, actually. But... Okay, looks like we can get over and up here. Man. Nothing to ascend to. I was hoping we could use ascend to get up here, but it's not looking like it. Okay, now that we're here by Dueling Peaks Stable, I know I was supposed to be going all the way over here. Back to Hatno Village. I don't have anything, though, over there that I could quick travel to. That I'm literally going the direction I wasn't supposed to be doing. But you know what? That's kind of the beautiful thing about this game, that you can just chill out in. Can I just unplug it? Oh, maybe. Maybe that plug we could, by the waterfall, we could just unplug. That's a great idea. No, I don't want to do that. Remove pin. Alright. I feel like I need to build something. What do I have? No, in my list of tricks. A hot air balloon could get me up there. Can I do that? I don't know if I have enough room here to do it. Okay. Now, to get the hot air balloon working, I need to put fire here. Or I guess even a torch would work, but Let's do Zonite devices, flame emitter. I don't know why the hot air balloon doesn't come with one of these already. I feel like it's pretty necessary to make it work. Hot air balloon time! Still going. Still going. Let's hope we can get there. Yeah, that worked beautifully. Let's hear it for the hot air balloon. And we found our shrine. This is what we'll need to quick travel when we want to come back here. Yes, this is the Switch 2 version. X1 wins. Starcat said you can also attach rockets to shields to boost yourself up. Oh, so many different ways to do it. Here we go, combat training shields. Combat trainings are hard. Okay, we gotta fight this little guy. Okay, I've got to remember to use my shield. Other attacks are ineffective here, so all I can do is parry? Oh, no. Ready, shield, and A is parry. Oh, nope, that was not it. There we go. Got it. I just had to wait a little longer than I thought I did. Oh no. Oh no. Be mindful of the element of each attack and choose your shield accordingly. Choose my shield accordingly. Ugh. Can I heal myself? I don't know if I can. Okay, I can. I mean, I guess I'll just start the baked palm fruit. Let's eat these. Bright seafood rice balls. I don't want to waste any of my other effects. I don't want to eat the dubious food. Gotcha. Okay, that guy's done. So because my shield's not metal... Great. Proceed to the innermost chamber. Not before picking up my loot, please and thank you. Wooden shields will get burned and metal shields will conduct electricity. Yeah, since I had the right kind already. I don't want the broadsword. I want the Zonai charge. Oh, I see. Their swords have fun things on the end. Alright, well, let's see what we want to drop, maybe. I do have topaz rods and an opal sword already. What if I equip that? Are these better? The ruby rod and the topaz broadsword both attack for less than what I have. But they do... Alright, maybe I should drop some of these. Cobble Crusher is great for breaking rocks, though. I'm going to drop this. And see what that's rated at. Oh, it's only a 6. Alright, then I'm not going to worry about trying to pick those up so much. Or I guess I have to drop this anyway. It's almost done. Drop that. Pick up this. And how am I looking on bows? Oh, definitely drop some of these 4s, please. I don't want that business. Okay, great. Innermost chamber. Mighty Zonite Shield. Oh, yes, please. I mean, as much as I like a good flame emitter shield, which I probably should have just used for our hot air balloon, I think we're going to get rid of it. Well, no. We're going to get rid of this one. Because now I have the Mighty Zonite Shield. Ooh, beautiful. In fact, let's just equip that right now. Beautiful. Okay. And here we go. Getting our blessing from Mom and Dad. And now we can fast travel back to the stable whenever we want to. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Yay, we did it. All right, folks, this is all the time we have for today's Nintendo Weekly. So before I leave you, I do have some announcements to make. I will be headed out of town to visit family for a little bit, so there will be no regular streams until after I return, which will be about the next week and a half or so. I will continue to post my schedule in the Discord so everybody knows what the streaming plans are. If you're watching right now on Amazon, you can follow on Amazon. If you're watching on Twitch, you can follow on Twitch. You can turn on notifications. That way you know next time I'm live once I get back, if Discord's not your thing. Otherwise, Discord is the easiest way to know next time I'm live. And also, just based on a few different jobs that I have coming up that will require me to travel specifically on Fridays, and the fact that Amazon does not have the Nintendo Switch 2 in stock, Nintendo Weekly will be going on a brief hiatus. I don't know how long, but I do know, like I said, that I will be traveling and working out of town the next couple Fridays in a row. So I just wanted to let everybody know, if you're tuning in every Friday at 9:30 for Nintendo Weekly, that will not be happening for a little bit, but I will keep you posted on my socials as well as on Discord for when you can expect Friday morning weekly streams to come back. So thank you for that. And thank you all so much for watching. Chicago says thank you for the stream. Scott, thank you for the follow. Yes, enjoy the family time. Thank you. I will. Again, I will be in touch with everybody on Discord when there's some cool updates. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the stream today. Have a blessed weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and be kind to one another. And I will see you on the flip side. Goodbye, my friends.